How is it that some people seem to have it all together? What is the secret to their success, do you think? Welcome to this video. Thank you for joining me. I wanted to share with you some successful points that I've learned in my own personal journey for myself, regardless of being a mental health practitioner, but some of the things that I've experienced that have changed my life. And the first thing is awareness. For me, many years ago in my mid-20s, I was extremely negative, but I didn't realize my thoughts were negative, my inner talk was negative. I would even openly say things about people, situations, negative. Life was just so hard. That's the way that I express things. But I had no awareness that this was what I was communicating. This was what I was feeling. I just really thought and really felt that life was like that for me. What was that moment that showed me actually how I was thinking? Well, I started reading self-development and self-help books, and I began to understand in those early days of opening up these books and delving into this kind of mental health arena that I was actually making things harder for myself. And I was allowing my mind to be a particular way. And actually those thoughts were influenced by past experiences, family members, friends, lots of things, lots of views that had shaped the way that I saw the world and shaped the way that I communicated things in life. And it was the awareness made me realize that actually that's not how I wanted to feel. That's not how I wanted to be, regardless of how I was coming across. I was just tired of feeling that way. So in helping you become aware of your mind, the structure, the setup of your mind, so that you can change and improve things for yourself, there are a few things that I look out for when I'm working with individuals which will help you just by giving you some more understanding. What do we do with our minds? How do our thoughts work? Well, you may exhibit just one of these things, or you may have two or all three. You may go in between each one of them. But we generally talk to ourselves, right? We have a lot of internal chatter. We talk things through inside our heads. We even have conversations inside our heads with ourselves or even with other people, the things that we're going to say. There's a lot of noise that can happen. Now, you may think, or you may notice, you may become aware of the fact that the voices inside your head, I say the voices, there may be more than one voice. There may be an anxious voice, a fearful voice, that may be the same one. There may be a positive voice, there may be a confident voice, so we can have a collection of different voices. You may have a voice of your partner or parent, colleague, or employer inside your head that is playing over and over the things that they say or the things that they think of you. So in looking at and becoming more aware of what those voices are doing and what they're saying, you can then train and change up the more positive voices, the voices that you want. And I actually had to do this on a daily basis. I still do this. I have a very good positive narrative that makes me feel good and actually empowers me, because only I experience what's happening inside my head. So I need to take control of that, and taking control comes through working with those inner voices. And we've got the thoughts, right? For some of you, there'll be still thoughts, like photos or Polaroids, just still, of places, of people, of experiences, but they won't be moving. They'll just be still images, and you can look at them and you can feel a particular way, or you can think about them and you might move to another still and another still. We tend to have those still thoughts. Then we have the moving thoughts, the scenes. We watch, we replay the things that have happened. We replay the things that we want to happen, or maybe we don't want to happen. Maybe you experience a lot of fear or worry, or you think through all of the worst case scenarios and you really watch them playing out inside your mind. So when you look at the inner talk that you have the thoughts that pop up and the movies, the scenes, the scenarios that play through your head, there you have an awareness of what your mind is doing. So think about it for yourself. Which one dominates your mind? Which one do you tend to do more of, or which two? Or perhaps you do all three. And it can probably change in the context that you're in, the people that you're around, the experience that you're having, but this is what we tend to do inside our heads. Anxious person will tend to think through all of the what if situations, have a lot of internal dialogue around what if this happens and what if that happens, or they've got a lot of panic going on in that chatter or the thoughts that they see. The depressive person has probably gone back in time and thinking about those difficult experiences and re-watching them and having that internal talk where they're feeling low from what once was, which is causing them to presently not see anything but the past to a degree. Now, this is how the mind works. This is what we tend to do. This is where we go inside our head in this personal, private space within. And this is why it's important to be aware. It's important to be aware of what you're doing, how you're doing it, where you're going, what you're thinking, because you and only you, once you know how, through your awareness of how you're thinking, you can then take action. You can then make things change for the better so that you can train and reprogram, rewire your mind to work in ways that allow you to live the life that you want to live. And I've done it. I've done it over and over, year after year. I work with my mind day after day. But back many years ago, actually not that long ago, 10 years ago, in my mid-20s, I was a very negative person, but that doesn't have to be the case. So try it on a daily basis. Notice the thoughts that you're thinking and take action to make those changes happen. Those people seem to have it together because they're aware of how their minds are working and they're taking action on their thoughts. Or you may have an awareness now that leads you to think, well, those people probably have a certain type of internal dialogue, a collection of thoughts that they see or scenes that they watch in their head that elevates them, that empowers them, that lifts them up. But that's exactly what you can do. That's exactly what you can do with your mind. I really believe that those people that seem to have it all together, now whether they don't behind the closed doors, but the ones that seem to have it all together, there'll be ways that their minds are working which puts them in that position, ways that you can adopt, ways that you can integrate into your living on a daily basis by changing and improving the way that you're thinking. I'll see you in the next video.